Having subcontractors is not just crucial, it's pretty much impossible not to. Today I would like to share with you the following. Why do you need them? Where do you get them? How do you attract them? How do you incentivize them? How do you have them to follow the orders and the rules that the company has? You will start wondering about having subcontractors once you are established in the current business that you're at. There's seasons when there's so much work, literally you don't know what to do with it. And then there's seasons that you're like, wow, I'm willing to do any project, just not to sit home. As far as it is, as cheap as it is, bring it on. And this is where contractors have hard time with employees, because employees need work the whole year. They don't really have an opportunity to work only for 3 months, half a year, and then sit home for the rest of the time. They need work every single day. They rely on it. Their family does. Contractors, on the controversy, they understand that they can make a lot of money on the busy season and then a little money or no money on the slow season. Now, subcontractors are also in charge to prioritize their finances to make sure that they can survive through the whole year, because no one guarantees that there will be work or enough work for them. Second reason why it's nice to have them is because liability factors. If they're licensed, if they have insurances, if they have their own vans and tools, their own employees, there's so little for you to worry about. And I mean very little to worry about if they're really good guys. We don't work with bad guys. If we have them, we catch them doing things that we don't like, we fix that really quick. Either we ask them to fix their attitude and their approach, or we have to replace them. That is what we do. So we don't really have an advice to bad contractors. Most of the time, they just have to be gone from the company, because it will just drag you down, cost you a lot of money and headache. So if the project gets messed up, for us specifically, the flooring is installed incorrectly, now you have about a $20,000 to $30,000 repair. You have to move the furniture, rent a trailer, demo the flooring, fix the concrete or whatever the issue is, install the moldings, install the flooring, you get it. But guess what? Based on your agreement with the contractor, they're liable for all of this. Yeah, obviously, as a business, you have an option, an opportunity to help them cover some of it, all of it. That's totally your choice. But the liability is not on you at that point. It's on the subcontractor that you're using. Repairs, dumb little things. You have to drive far for absolutely zero interest. That falls on subcontractor. If they mess up a big portion of the house where it gets flooded, or it catches on fire, or if the structure gets damaged, vehicles break down, get into the accidents, they have insurance, tools break, they're in charge of it, employee issues. So there's just so many benefits of having subcontractors that can do work for you. Where do you find them? Where I would start is I would start by building real relationship with those people, because if they don't have any actual real relationship with you, they can just say, hey buddy, don't call me ever again. Now you have obviously legal rights, but they're just financially not worth the money. And then you're just stuck with fixing repair after repair after repair after repair. And at the end of the day, you're the one that's not happy. Now, if it's a big problem, if it's like a $20,000, $30,000 house, then at that point, that's like, yeah, it's worth pursuing their licenses, their liability insurance, so you can follow that path. But if it's a $500 repair, it's not worth it. Another reason is, let's just say you found a couple guys, but they're not really in a good relationship with you. They will not prioritize when you call. Most of the people know that, but when you really need help of a subcontractor, if he's not working with you full time and you have a very busy schedule for the next week or the next day, most likely everybody has the same schedule. So every other business then uses subcontractors. They will start calling everybody at the same time for the same amount of jobs, and if you don't have real relationships, they will just not prioritize you. They will go with someone else. But where do you start building the relationship? When you're installing a house, very often across the street or next door, you'll have another team that will be installing whatever you're installing. It could be from the same store. It could be from a different store right across the street. And that's where you can just exchange the numbers, get to know each other better, and they can help you, you can help them. Once you find those couple good guys that you really built your relationship with, you need to still build your pool of outreach, because when the busy season comes, you want to be ready to take every single project. You do not want to say no, because that is how you grow your company, and that is how you grow your reputation. When the project calls, you answer, you install it, you do a great job. So even when it's busy or slow, I would reach out to the guys I already have, the really good ones, and ask them, hey, who else do you know? Who else can I build the relationship with? Because busy season's coming. And that is where you reach out to them, you give them a project, you give them a try, you check what values they have, how they approach your customer, your builder. And it doesn't mean you'll be working with them full time. That means you established another relationship. When busy times hit, instead of having 3 guys, now you have 15 people that you can call. Now, how do you attract the subcontractors to work for you? Could be a couple reasons. First reason, because you'll pay them better than what other companies pay them. Another reason is because you can keep them more busy. Pay them the same as what everybody else pays them, but you can keep them more busy. That means they will prioritize you better. Another reason, because your projects, they're all very local. And also the final reason, because you actually want to build relationship with them. A lot of subcontractors, they do not have actual relationships with their stores because it's work, you know? You only talk about work, but if you really need them, if you really care for them, most of them will really appreciate that. How do you incentivize those subcontractors to continue working with you? Is you can do yearly, quarterly meetings with them. That is actually where you come and you sit down to overview your past successes, your past failures, and your future. Where are you trying to go? What is their part in the big plan to get to the next level? They all like individual meetings, individual approaches, to be valued and to understand that it's not just one-time project. We actually have a goal that we're trying to strive to. We're trying to succeed. And as my business is growing, so is their business will be growing. And this is the reasons why having contractors is cool. It's not that hard, it's less liability, and you can build a pretty big business with them involved. If this was helpful, like, subscribe. See you next time.